We're home. Here you are.
Thank you.
Not too much talking now, and go quietly.
What's this?
Never mind that. Go in and have your breakfast. And good luck. Much obliged.
Have you wiped your feet? So you're back.
Yes, with the milk.
Well, what happened this time?
Oh, the old hearse broke down again. Evans gave me a lift back from the station.
Oh, a real Christian man is Evans the milk. I suppose you got drunk again?
Me? No, I'd hardly a drop. He was a poor man, Morgan. His widow's hardly got anything left.
She paid you your money?
Oh, yes, indeed. Here it is, look. £10.
Is that all? And then with a real oak coffin and brass fittings, how will it pay you?
I'm telling you, she's a poor woman.
And what about me then, with groceries the price they are? Oh, and that reminds me, Davids will be wanting his bill today. You better give me some of that.
Oh, here you are. You better take the lot. And don't forget to put it down in the ledger. Well, I suppose I better get out of these glad rags.
What's to happen about the hearse?
Oh, Dai's bringing it back when they find... when he finds what's wrong with it.
Yet. What have you been doing? Here's a cup of tea. It's about time you had that old hearse overhauled. It's too often it breaks down and keeps you from a proper night's rest. It's getting to be the talk of the town.
Let them talk.
And the old hackney's not much better.
I can't afford repairs. Funerals don't pay as well as they used to. In the good old days, people used to put a bit aside to get a decent turnout. Oak and walnut and satin. Repairs cost money.
Well, you might get a loan from Williams the bank.
Banks? You know what I think of banks. A lot of robbers, the whole lot of them.
Nonsense. My goodness, but these things are getting tight. They're nearly new, too. I must have put on weight. There, that's better. Now, you hurry up and I'll go and put the bacon on. And for goodness sake, get something done about that old hearse. I wonder folks are not ashamed to be seen dead in it.
to tell you a secret.
What?
A secret. I've got a surprise for you.
Secret?
The house, switch it off, man. You'll have Gwyneth out in a minute. Where'd you find it? Where you left it. Outside Morgan. It was a distributor rota. You forgot to put it back. The what? The rota. You've forgotten it like you did before. You were lucky I had a spare with me. What happened, Mr. Griffiths? Passed out cold, man. Mrs. Morgan opened the bottle to the dear departed. I should never drink past wine.
Hello, Mrs. Griffiths.
Hello, Mary. Di, do you have to make all that noise? It's enough to waken the dead.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Griffiths. You see, I just pressed the horn and it got itself stuck.
Guy was just calling me out. Says he's got a surprise for me.
Indeed, I have, too. Mr. Griffiths, I want you to drive Mary and me to our wedding 3 weeks from today.
Well, I go.
Di.
That's right, on our honeymoon. All the way to Cardiff we want to go, to catch the train to London.
Cardiff.
But Di, you said we wouldn't be married till Easter.
Ah, well, that's the surprise.
Oh, but I can't possibly be ready in 3 weeks.
Yes, you can. You must. I've got enough money saved up in the bank now, and I'm not waiting any longer.
Bank? Then you watch out, boy. I don't trust banks. Isn't that so, Gwynny?
And if you ask me, I don't trust husbands either. It's you'll have to watch out, my dear.
Oh, but you see, I love Di.
You will drive us, won't you, Mr. Griffiths?
Well, Gwynny don't like me being too far away from home. But, being as it's you two, well, by golly, I will. If Megan here will stand the strain.
What? Of course she will. After I finish with her, I'll tune her up and we'll polish her till she shines like new.
Yes, and I'll buy her some new ribbons.
It's a long time since Megan was used for weddings. Perhaps the change will do her good.
Well, that's settled then. 3 weeks from today.
Oh, I must go now.
Mary.
Goodbye, Di. Thank you so much for my lovely surprise.
I'm sorry, Gwyneth, I shot a bit early tonight, but there's always time to get something for you.
Oh, well, I had to see you. There's nothing I want, but I must talk to you.
Well, I was just going to choir practice,
Oh,
but
never mind that. You'll have to miss it. I can't stand it any longer. I can't stand it, I tell you.
But it's a very good choir, Gwyneth. Quite nearly won second prize at the Eisteddfod last year.
I'm talking about Griffiths.
Oh, well, what's he done now?
He's put a corpse in the parlour. In the parlour.
Nothing so very terrible in that, is there?
But he's got the same name as yours.
Dear, dear, well, it's not me, I assure you.
He's done it on purpose. I know he has. I'm sure he suspects.
Nonsense, my dear. How can he? We've been most discreet.
Then why has he put the corpse in the parlour? He's never done that before. I know he means something sinister. Oh, Will, take me away quickly like you promised.
Yes, dear, I know, but we must wait for a bit. There's no sense in hurrying things. There's plenty of time.
But why not now? You say your milk round over the mountain is doing well. Why can't we leave at once?
You mean tonight? What about my choir practice?
Listen, on Saturday week he's going to Cardiff with young Dai Thomas and Mary Rees on their honeymoon.
Good heavens, you don't say so. That's a bit unusual, isn't it?
He's taken them to the station to get the train for London. He'll be away most of the day and all night too, if I know anything. Well, let's make that the day.
Really, Gwyneth, I don't think I can arrange it so soon.
Willie Evans, I don't think you meant it when you said you'd take me away from it all. You were just playing on a poor girl's affections. You're a philanderer, that's what you are.
I'm not really.
You make promises you don't mean to keep. You never intended to keep.
But, Gwyneth, my own wife has hardly been buried these 5 years. It wouldn't be decent so soon.
Oh, I know you're always a decent man, Will. But can't you consider me? Don't I matter too?
Of course, Gwynny. You know I've always burned to take you away from that morgue. And by George, I will too. One day.
Then what's the matter with Saturday week?
Very well, Saturday week it is.
Oh, Willie boy, I knew all the time you meant what you said.
Yeah, now I shall be so late for choir
Now
practice.
I won't be able to take much luggage because I can't start to pack till he's gone. There'll be some of my clothes and a bit of the linen. I don't suppose there's much here, poor man. Oh, and then there's the Dresden china. I'll pop that into a case as soon as he's out of the way. And there's a few... Oh, Mrs. Macey, thank heavens you've come. Have you brought the new ones with you? These old ones are killing me. Come on in. Thank you. That's better. I can breathe now. It was nice of you to be so quick.
Not at all, girl. You said you were going away soon, so I hurried. They fit a treat, don't they?
Beautiful. Much nicer than the old one.
Oh, they're not so old. My, they'll come in very handy for someone. There's lots of life in them yet. In fact, I can hardly tell them apart from the new ones.
They're abominations whether they look the same or not.
Well, if so be you don't want them, maybe I could get rid of them.
Well, I never want to see them again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll try and sell them for you. And what I got can go in part payment for the new ones.
Well, if you do, there's 5 shillings in it for you.
Oh. Over that way a bit. Now, do they pinch?
Not a bit. They're ever so cozy.
Good. Might have been made for you, they might. And much cheaper than new. Not that they've had much wear at all. Last you for years, they will.
Don't you think they're just a little too... well, too...
No, keep you young, they will.
All right, I'll take them.
Good. A real bargain. And worth their weight in gold to a lass who's just going to be a blushing bride. The last lot. Put it in, everything in the thing. Oh, look at this. Come on, then, let's go. Hurry up now.
Hello there, in trouble? Can I give you a lift?
the matter now, then? What is it? Oh, a fine way to elope this is.
There's a stone in it.
Well, take it out, then. Pull it.
Winnie? Winnie!
Good heavens, Griffiths, you gave me a start. Somebody dead?
My wife.
I'm sorry.
No, she's run away, man.
What, run away, Gwynnie? What are you talking about?
Read it.
Well. And with Evans the milk, too. This is terrible. Now I suppose there'll be no delivery in the morning.
Don't just stand there, man. Do something.
Me?
Yes, and be quick about it. She can't have got very far.
What can I do?
Well, you're a sergeant, aren't you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Griffiths boy. You've come to the wrong shop for that. Oh, look, I can't do anything like that.
You can't? Why not?
Well, so far as I know, it's no crime for a wife to run away with a man if she's so minded. At least, not according to the law, it isn't.
Then it ought to be. It isn't right, it isn't decent, it isn't.
Well, that's as may be. But if you want your wife back, you'll have to fetch her yourself.
But don't you see she's taken the...
Yes?
Oh, never mind, I'll fetch her back. I reckon I know they've gone over the mountain to Bendigotten. But she won't get away with it. She won't get away with it. What's the meaning of this?
The mare's gone lame.
Coming home with me.
No, thank you. I've made my choice, and I'm going to stick to
Very
it.
well.
What have you been doing? Where are you taking me? What's the idea of all this?
I suppose you haven't got one of those things for taking stones out of horses' hooves.
Stop it. Oh, Griffiths. Will! Will! Oh, help! Oh, dear, dear, dear. Griffiths, what do you think you were doing here? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Griffiths! Stop it! Oh, dear, dear.
Now then.
You again, Mr. Griffiths.
Yes, and this time you've got to do something about it. He's stolen my money, too.
He has?
Yes,
How much?
£150.
I never thought you had as much, man.
Well, I had, and I want him arrested.
Yeah, well, I shall have to apply for a warrant, then.
Yes, that's right. A warrant.
Now, you best give me some details. Now, sir. In consequence of information received, I proceeded to appoint 1 mile, 5 furlongs, and 3 chains on the Pen-Gosten Road, where I came across the accused. I cautioned him and took him into custody. Whereupon he said, "I did not take the money."
Yes, I see. Did the prosecutor say where this money was usually kept?
Yes, sir.
Well, where?
Sewn up inside the Exhibit A, sir.
Really? And pray, what is Exhibit A?
Produced, sir.
Isn't it rather an unusual place?
That's not for me to say, sir.
Well, are you a married man, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Well, isn't it an unusual place? Would you keep your money in such a place?
No, sir.
Obviously not. Any sensible man keeps his money in a bank where he can lay his hands on it. Isn't that so? The sergeant here is far too sensible a man to trust his money to a mobile money box. Tell us, Sergeant, where do you keep your money?
In a tin box underneath a dog kennel, your worship.
Yes. Where were these things found?
They were handed to me by the prosecutor.
They are his wife's things, I presume?
That's what he said, sir.
Then we'd better call him to prove them.
Call Matthew Griffiths.
Ah, yes, thank you,
I
you.
swear
quite,
by
sir.
Almighty God that I
I
will
am
tell the truth,
informed
the whole
by my
truth, and nothing
learned
but the
clerk that the modern title for these articles is Foundation Garment.
truth. Stays is good enough for me, my lord.
Yes, quite so, quite so. Any more unseemly levity from the public gallery, and I will have the court cleared. Now, Mr. Griffiths, do you identify this garment?
I do. They're my guineas.
Are they of any great value?
They were when she ran away with them. There was £150 of my money sewn up in them. Did she run away with that rapscallion?
I tell you, I didn't know anything about any money.
Then why else did you run away with my Gwynny?
I'll ask the questions, if you please, Mr. Griffiths.
Sorry, my lord.
Do I understand that Mrs. Griffiths was wearing the garment in question when she was persuaded to go away with the accused?
I didn't persuade her. It was the other way about.
You will have your chance to speak all in good time, Mr. Evans. Until then, kindly remain silent.
All right, but what I want to know is whose side are you on?
Now, Mr. Griffiths.
It's no odds who persuaded who. Facts are facts! He ran away with my money and I want it back.
Naturally, naturally. When did you discover that this money was missing?
When I ran after her to get back the stays.
And also your wife, I presume?
No, it didn't matter about her. What I want is my money, and he's stolen it.
Very well, we'll call Mrs. Griffiths.
Call Gwyneth Griffiths.
No, no, madam. Over here.
I'm very comfortable here, thank you.
But that is the place reserved for accused persons.
No, thank you, young man. I'm not in the habit of telling lies.
I regret, madam, that is a formality which all must go through in cases where the accused has pleaded not guilty.
Oh, he has he? The coward.
Come, come, madam, take the oath, please.
Take out of the book in your right hand and read out what's on the card out loud.
I swear by Almighty God that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If any of you here recognize it. Well?
Is your name Gwyneth Griffiths?
You should know that by now.
Do you live with your husband, Matthew Griffiths, undertaker of Main Street, Cumtallin?
I do not.
No?
Well, doesn't the whole town know that I've just run away from him?
Where are you now living?
With my mother, Madam Blodwyn Bute, fortune teller of 19 Ask Road.
Thank you. I understand that when you left your husband's home in company with the accused, you were wearing around your person the,
Yes, I was, and I want them back. It's most uncomfortable.
They are your only pair?
Indeed they are.
At the moment, then, I take it you are without support, as it were.
I'm wearing a pair of my mother's, but I'm very uncomfortable.
Yes, quite so, quite so. These other foundations, did you know that they contained a valuable sum of money?
Pardon?
On the day that you left home, did you know that there was a considerable sum of money sewn around, wrapped in your corsets?
Money sewn in my corsets?
That is what I said.
How do you know anything about my corsets?
Madam, the evidence is that there was money in your corsets on the day you left home.
Whose money?
Your husband says it was his.
How much?
Does it matter how much? Your husband says it was about 150 pounds.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Will you kindly keep your levity for another occasion and have the goodness to answer my question?
Indeed I will. If Griffiths the Hearse had 150 pence to sew up in anything, it would be a miracle.
Then you know nothing about it.
Of course I don't. And what's more, I don't believe it. He's never sewn up anything on his corpses and himself on Saturday night.
You are fond of the accused?
I hate the sight of him.
Then I think in view of the conflicting evidence, we'd better adjourn for further inquiries. I will remand the accused on bail of £100 for 2 weeks.
I haven't got £100.
Liar.
I tell you I haven't.
Ah, Mr. Morgan, do I take it you are ready to stand bail for the accused?
Yes, sir.
Very well, then. You may settle it in the office. The court is adjourned.
Hey, What about my money?
I must remind the prosecutor that this money has not yet been recovered, and that therefore he must not interfere with this garment anymore.
But he's got my money, I know he has.
Come now.
If he can steal a wife, he can steal money too.
I tell you, I don't know anything about any money, Matthew Griffiths.
Then you're a liar as well as being a wife stealer. A liar, I say.
Liar yourself, man.
He calls me a liar.
Well, you are a liar.
He calls me a liar. The man who puts water in the baby's milk.
Sure. Well, at least I never put old Mr. Lloyd into a genuine old coffin made of old packing cases. Genuine elm, indeed. Why, his backside will be out of it before he's been in it.
I want my money!
I tell you, I haven't got it!
Then where is it? That's what I want to know!
Oh, come on, Di. It's getting awfully late. And there's so many things I want to see.
Stop nagging me, Mrs. Thomas.
You're not still fixing that tie.
Has anyone ever told you you're very, very pretty?
Come on.
$316, please.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Thomas. Well, did you find Buckingham Palace all right?
Couldn't very well miss it, could you?
And we saw the Houses of Parliament and Westminster Abbey and the changing of the guard. Oh, it was lovely.
And then she took me shopping and spent all my money for me.
Well, I hope she hasn't spent it all, because I see there's a bill here for you for the first week.
Oh, yes, of course, the bill.
Why don't you pay it, darling, and come on up? I'm ever so tired.
Well, look, I seem to have spent all the money I had on me. I'll pop upstairs and get some more. I'll have some more in my case.
But, Di,
Yes, dear, yes. Look, will it be all right if I pay you in the morning? Will it be all right then?
Certainly, Mr. Thomas. It'll be quite all right.
Thank you very much.
But, Di,
Yes,
you...
dear, yes. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Di, what could have happened to it?
Stolen, that's what.
But how could it have been? It was in your pocket all the time.
These Londoners, they always warn me they'd have the laces out of your shoes if you didn't watch them.
Oh, but how, Di? You're always so careful.
In broad daylight, too. Still, we should have known better. You saw for yourself this morning they had to put sentries outside Buckingham Palace to stop them stealing the gates.
Whatever are we going to do, Di?
Don't worry, darling. I'll think of something.
They won't put us in prison, will they?
Only me. They can't do anything to you.
Oh, look, Di, why couldn't we sell some of the furniture? Oh, they'd wait a few days if you asked them to, wouldn't they? Oh, let's do that, Di. Let's go back to Wales tomorrow. You've still got the tickets, haven't you?
They were in the wallet, too.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Griffiths, is Gwenny in?
She is not.
Oh, will she be back soon?
She will not.
Well, perhaps you would like to settle this bill to save me waiting, then.
I will not.
But Mr. Griffiths, it's only for 12 and 6pence.
Then you take it along to Evans the milk and tell him to pay it out the money he stole from me.
Mr. Evans? But, Mr. Griffiths, I can't ask Mr. Evans. This bill is for your wife.
I don't care what it's for. You take it along to Evans the milk. I'm tired of digging in the garden for somebody else to pick the plums.
But, Mr. Griffiths.
And don't you, Mr. Griffiths, me. You go along to Evans. He's the new Mr. Griffiths now. You take my advice. You lock that cycle up before you knock at his door. That man will pinch anything. Cycles, money, wives, corsets, anything. And I hope you get your money. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. What can I do for you?
Well, I would like to see the wife of Griffiths the Hearse. They told me I should find her here.
Indeed? Then whoever told you is out of date.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
She's gone home to her mother.
Oh, dear. Well, perhaps you would tell me where that is. I want to settle with her about her corset.
Oh, then I'm afraid... Did you say corsets?
Yes, that's right. I've managed to sell her old ones for her.
Old pair of corsets?
And she will be pleased. You know there's almost nothing to pay on the new ones.
Oh, one moment. Do I understand Mrs. Griffiths has just bought some new corsets?
That's right.
Tell me now, when was this?
Well, now, I shouldn't be discussing that sort of thing with you, should I?
Why not? I'm the one who'll be paying for them. Mrs. Griffiths and I are...
Well, in that case, here's the bill.
12 and 6, balance due on new corsets supplied on the... Let me see. Why, that's splendid.
Yes, isn't it?
12 and 6. Must have made a very good bargain on the old ones.
Yes, by good fortune, they just fitted young Mary.
Mary?
Yes, Mary Rees, you know. Or Thomas as she is now. Married that young Dai Thomas.
Really? How lucky for her. Here's the money.
Well, thank you, Mr. Evans. I'll give you a receipt.
Let me see. The young folk are still on their honeymoon, aren't they?
Oh, yes, that young Dai's sparing no expense. Staying at the Piccadilly Palace in London they are. Very posh hotel.
Well, we're only young once, aren't we? We don't go getting married every day, do we?
No, that's so. Not but that some of us couldn't do with a second time. There's your receipt, Mr. Evans. And you won't forget to tell Mrs. Griffiths that you paid, will you?
To be sure, I'll keep it as a surprise for her.
Goodbye.
Good day. Yes, a surprise. A big surprise. To London, please.
Quick, Evans is jumping his bail. You're bailman.
You don't say so.
I do say so, and there's no time to lose. He's booked a ticket to London. London, man!
But this is serious. What about my £100?
Gone if we don't do something about it.
And what can I do?
Lend me the fare, and I'll follow him. I haven't got it on me myself. Come on, hurry up, man.
All right,
or we'll
wait
miss the
here.
train. Hurry up, man, there's the train. Quick, or we'll miss it. Come on, man. Hurry up, that's it.
Here, I want it back behind you.
Sorry to have to say this, Mr. Thomas, but our rules state quite clearly that accounts are payable weekly.
Yes, but I told
We
you...
have now been here for 13 days, and unless your bill is paid tomorrow before midday, we shall have no alternative but to ask you to vacate your room.
Yes, look, but I tell you, I've been robbed, man.
I hope you're not holding us responsible. Our rules clearly state...
I know all about that, but where am I going to find the money?
It's your affair, Mr. Thomas.
Look, my wife is going out presently to try and raise some money on her ring. It was very expensive.
Very well. Meanwhile, we shall retain your baggage as security, according to our rules.
To the devil with your rules, man. Come in. Ah. Why, it's Mr. Evans, the milk. Well, come in, come in. Well, what in the name of goodness are you doing here, man? A friend from Wales. Everything will be all right now.
I sincerely trust so.
Well, what are you doing here, Mr. Evans? Not that I'm not glad to see you, of course.
Well,
Well, look, let me tell you about this terrible fix I'm in. I've got no money to pay the bill.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry.
The manager here was just about to throw us out.
I see. Well, I wonder if my friend and I might talk alone, eh?
Certainly. Now, Mr. Thomas, you will kindly bear in mind what I've had to say.
Don't worry. I can always look it up in the rules.
They will be enforced. A good day.
Is your wife here, Dai?
No, she's down the passage having a bath. Oh, don't worry. She'll be ages yet. Now, look, Mr. Evans. Can you lend me a few pounds? Only for a few days till I get back home and sell the bedroom suite.
Bedroom suite?
Well, no, the dining room suite, I mean. Would you, Mr. Evans? I swear I'll pay it back.
Well, it's rather difficult, Dai. You see, if I lend you money, I shan't have enough myself to buy what I came up to see you about. You see, that is, I was going to ask... I wondered if you would sell me, or rather, if your wife would sell me her...
Sell you anything, Mr. Evans? What did you want? Furniture?
Furniture? No, of course not. What would I be wanting with furniture?
Well, what is it, Mr. Evans? You see, furniture's the only thing we've got.
As a matter of fact, Dai, I wondered if you could persuade your wife to sell me her...
A ring? I'm sure she'd let you have it, Mr. Evans.
No, what would I be wanting with a ring? No, I wondered if your wife would sell me her corsets.
Corsets?
Yes. Now, don't misunderstand me, boy. Sounds a bit peculiar, I know, but I was hoping to explain to your missus, but, of course, if she's having a bath... The fact is, there's been a bit of trouble back home, boy, since you left, and I need those corsets to clear my name.
You need Mary's corsets to clear your name? What has my wife's corsets got to do with your reputation, Mr. Evans? It sounds crazy to me.
It is, Dai, it is, but take it from me, I need 'em badly. I'd pay you a good price for 'em, too. Now, what do you say?
Well, what you can want with these things, I just can't imagine.
So here they are. Now, how about it, man, eh? Will you sell 'em? I'll give you £10.
You must be mad.
Well, then, 15.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Evans, but I don't think Mary would like it. There's something personal about corsets, if you know what I mean.
Yes, but if I gave you...
No, I don't think Mary would like to sell them. Not for a penny less than £20.
17.10.
20.
Dai, I'm your oldest friend, man.
20. Thank you, Mr. Evans. I'll get some paper for you. Why, it's Mr. Griffiths the Hearse. Well, you know Evans the milk, don't you?
Aye. But I didn't know you two were in league together.
In league? What do you mean?
Helping him to jump his bail.
Jump me, bail? What are you saying, man? I've come up here to clear myself of your trumped-up charges.
Trumped up, are they? It's you that'll be trumped up, you thief.
Look, gentlemen, please.
I never stole your money, and you know it.
You took my Gwynny, didn't you? What's the difference? If you took one, you got the other.
She made me.
Aye, that's what you told the judge, you coward. You're a thief, I say.
I've come up here to prove I am not.
How can you prove it?
Mrs. Thomas had the evidence that'll clear me.
What, Mary?
Rubbish.
Look, would you mind telling me what this is all about?
I'm trying to. The truth is that the Hearse here has wickedly accused me of stealing his money, which I never did. He says it was inside Gwynny's corsets the day we ran off.
Who ran off?
Gwynny and me, but never mind about that. It was the day you got married. Since then, I've discovered that a day or two before that, Gwynny bought some new corsets.
Yes, but what has Mrs. Griffiths' corsets got to do with my Mary? And why do you want Mary's corsets when it's Mrs. Griffiths' corsets that's got the money in?
Your Mary bought Gwynny's old ones.
What? You mean Mary's been wearing Mrs. Griffiths' corsets all this time with all the money in it?
Yes.
How do you know all this?
Because I paid a bill for me, so I know. I'll wait till I get you back into that court, Matthew Griffiths.
And here we are, all the time, robbed of every penny that we'd had, worrying ourselves silly, and... Wait till Mary comes in and I tell her.
I don't believe a word of it.
Oh, you don't, eh? Then perhaps you'll take a look at those.
They're mine.
No, they're not. They're mine. Very much mine. I just bought them for a second time. Ask Dai.
That's right, Mr. Griffiths. I just sold them to him when you dropped in.
Why, you're trying to steal them again, are you?
Excuse me. Dai! To me, Dai! They're mine! They're mine!
Don't worry, darling. Griffiths tried to steal your corsets, that's all.
What?
Pay the bill. Be with you in a minute.
Yes, but...
May I ask the reason for this outrageous disturbance?
This man tried to steal my wife's corsets.
They're not his wife's, they are my wife's.
Corsets? Do I understand?
No, you don't. Then perhaps you'd better keep quiet.
Perhaps I better take over, sir.
I wish you would, Smith.
Who are you?
The hotel detective.
Then I demand that you arrest this thief.
And I demand that you arrest him.
Now, just a minute. What's all this about corsets?
I can't make head or tail of it myself, except that there's money in them.
Money? What money?
The money inside the corsets, man.
But you said you had no money.
I didn't either. You see, the money was in my wife's corsets. Mr. Griffiths had put it there, and I didn't know anything about it.
Now, one thing at a time, gentlemen. This looks like a criminal charge to me, sir. Now, the first thing to settle is, whose property are these?
Mine.
Mine!
Ours.
Why, they're mine.
I demand that you impound those corsets as evidence in a court case. Well, who are you? Evans is my name, and the corsets belong to me.
He's a liar. They belong to me.
Will you be quiet? Now, sir.
They're mine, and there's the receipt to prove it.
Let's see. Yes, it certainly looks as you have the best claim to the property so far, sir. So perhaps you'll tell us, what's all this about a court case?
Ah, you'll get nothing but lies.
This black-hearted scoundrel has accused me of stealing them.
Yes, but you can't steal your own property, you know, sir.
The corsets may be his, but the money inside is mine.
What is all this about money?
Sewn up inside, man. Open them up and have a look.
Very well.
I can save you the trouble. You won't find any money.
Hey?
What? But, darling...
I'm only just beginning to understand. Mr. Griffiths seems to have sewn up some money in his wife's corsets. And I bought them, but I didn't know about the money. But what you don't know is that these aren't the corsets. The old ones were so uncomfortable, I bought some new ones when I got to London. And I sent the other ones back to Mrs. Macey, the corset woman, hoping she'd sell them for me again.
You sent back the corsets to Mrs. Macey?
And asked her to sell them again? Hey, what about my money? My £20?
What about it, Mr. Evans?
I want it back, of course, that's what. If these aren't the corsets, I want my money back.
Oh, no, Mr. Evans. These are the corsets you bought. You picked them out yourself, remember? Anyway, it's too late now. The money's gone. Mary's just paid the bill with it.
Mrs. Macey.
Mrs. May...
Mrs. Macey!
But Mr. Thomas! Go on, you fool, do something!
Why, yes, that's right. Mary sent them back to me last week, it was. I remember now. And it's all rubbish her saying the girdle didn't fit. As good a girdle as I've ever seen. Fitted her like a glass of water, it did. Might have been made for her. I remember saying it worth their weight in gold, I said.
Yes, but where are they now?
Now? How should I know? They're sold.
Sold? Who did you sell them to?
How How should I know? I sold a lot of second-hand corsets last week.
But good gracious, woman, don't you keep books?
No. Do you?
But, Mrs. Macey, you must remember, who did you sell corsets to in the last few days?
Well, now, let me see. There was Mrs. Watkins, and Mrs. Lloyd, and Miss Lewis, the stout one, not her sister, and Mrs. Davies, the drapery, and Miss Frost, although what good a second-hand corset is to her, I don't know. But I told her with her figure she should have them specially made.
Watkins, Lloyd, Lewis, Davies, Frost. 5 of them. It could be worse. Watkins. I'll try Watkins first. That's the nearest. What a bit of luck. I can see them all tonight.
I'm coming with you. And remember, when we find them, they belong to me.
You're welcome. All I want is the money inside.
If you're thinking of calling on those ladies tonight, you'll be disappointed.
Why?
Because they're all at choir practice. You see, it's Wednesday.
Choir practice. All the eggs in one basket.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Why, Gwenny!
Hello, Mrs. Macey. Come on in.
But I thought you'd go...
Yes, I thought so too. But look at this place. I leave him for a few days, and this is what happens.
Well, poor man. He's had a lot on his mind lately.
The only thing Matthew Griffiths had on his mind was a pair of your corsets. Never mind about me.
Yes, well, that's what I've come about. I've got them.
Got what?
The corsets. Here they are.
You have? Oh, thank heavens. Now I can stop killing myself. Now let's find this fortune they made all the fuss about. Well, there's a sly one for you. I'll teach him to be deceitful. Now, you make yourself a cup of tea, Mrs. Macey, while I go upstairs and make myself comfortable.
Oh, thank you, dear. That's kind you are.
We can't turn back now, man.
Right. Let's have a drop of this to fortify us. Right.
Right. Come on.
Still
Hello there, Mr. Macey. Seem to be having trouble. Can I help?
Here's this padlock. I can't open it.
Oh, well, give it a bang with something. That'll clear it. Here, let me do it for you.
No. I'll do it. No.
No. Hit it really hard.
Oh.
You and your old corsets.
It was only an accident.
An accident? Woman, what are you doing with that club?
It was my padlock. It jammed, and it's all your fault.
My fault?
Yes, your fault. If it hadn't been for you and your blinking corsets, I shouldn't have been here.
Have you found them, Mrs. Macey?
Yes, after you went, I found I hadn't sold them after all.
You found them? Where are they? Was the money all right?
Never mind about that. What have you done with them, Mrs. Macey? Where are they now, eh?
Well, I thought I'd better bring them round.
Mrs. Macey, you've saved my life. If it wasn't that from now on I'm a confirmed bachelor, I'd ask you to marry me.
Wipe your feet.
Sausages.
Griffiths the Hearse. You're a silly old fool.
Gwynnie.